Hey everybody, welcome to the AllBrands show. I'm Barbara from AllBrands.com, a family-owned and operated business since 1976 and an online business, AllBrands.com, since 1996. We're so excited to be here with Christine Connor from Amelie Scott Designs. Hey Christine.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Barbara, for letting me come on to AllBrands and inviting me to speak with you guys today. I'm so excited to be here. I think the last time we did a webinar for you guys, we talked about the edge-to-edge method from my original book, Edge-to-Edge Quilting on Your Embroidery Machine. And as a reminder, that book showed you how to quilt with your embroidery machine and get results like long arm quilting. But today I'm going to talk to you guys about my two new books, two of them, Edge to Edge Pro and Lemoncello. And then I also want to share a little bit about the arts and letters projects that we have created. And I have a new table topper for you that's called When Life Gives You Lemons. What do you do?
I love it. I'm so excited. I see the preview of what we're going to be looking at behind you. It's absolutely gorgeous. So stay tuned through to the end, everyone, because I have a special giveaway. So to be eligible. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Sorry, I have one too. Sorry.
I'm so excited. So to be eligible for AllBrands giveaway and Christine's giveaway, go ahead and comment #AllBrands. We'll let you know what those are a little later. And we will see you back in just one moment. And here we are back with Christine Connor from Amelie Scott Designs, the inventor of edge-to-edge quilting and all of these amazing project books and projects. So you're constantly coming out with a bunch of new, amazing, innovative products that we're going to be showing today. And I can't wait, Christine.
Yeah, we keep very busy around here. By the way, I want to tell you that's a really cute ad that you have, and I'm always amazed at all the thread you have. One of these days I might have to come visit your shop.
Oh, we would love that. We would love that so much. So we're doing a live show now. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them in the comments. As we go, I'll be saving them and we'll answer them live for you. So we have one really exciting thing. I hope that we're starting with this one. What are we starting with?
We're going to start with the Edge to Edge Pro book.
That's what I'm so super excited about. All right. Well, tell us all about it, Christine.
All right. Well, you guys are going to love the Pro book because there's some very exciting information in this book that I think you're going to love. Now, when I put out the Edge to Edge Quilting on Your Embroidery Machine, the first book, people were asking me almost right away, can you come up with borders for the designs that you're selling? And I was kind of perplexed at first because edge to edge is one design that goes across the quilt and or from one edge to the other, edge to edge. And when you talk about borders, you're talking more about custom quilting. So, I have been mulling that over for years in my head. When you guys ask me something, it never goes away. It just stays in the brain and goes round and round and round. Anyway, well, we've done that. I have a new method that will allow you to have perfectly sized edge to edge quilting in the quilt body and beautiful borders around the edge of the quilt. So this technique, first of all, builds upon the first edge-to-edge book. So if you're brand new to edge-to-edge, you want to start with the first book and then move into the pro book. But if you've been doing edge to edge for a while, by all means, go straight into the pro book. You're going to love it. I'm so excited. Okay, so let me just show you an example of how I'm a little video example of how I'm stitching a feathered edge to edge design in the middle of the quilt, and then there will be borders along the edge. You're going to see the full edge to edge design that, you know, we have a start point and we have an end point, those of you who are familiar with edge to edge, and you're going to see that end point stops right there at the border seam. So let's watch this. First of all, how cool is that to have a full edge-to-edge design, not a partial one, a full one, stop right where the border seam meets. So of course, the book, one of the key aspects of the book is resizing. So we're going to talk about resizing a little bit. Whenever you resize a machine formatted file, that would be your PES for Baby Like Brother, your VP3, your EXP for Bernina. Those machine files, anytime you are resizing that, what the computer is doing is it's basically seeing a grid, and you're telling it make it bigger. So that's what it's doing. It's taking that picture and it's making it bigger, or it's shrinking it depending on what way you're telling it to go. And what it's doing when it does that is it's making the stitches longer. We don't want that in quilting, or it's making them shorter, and we don't want that either in quilting. We want the stitches to stay the same. So then there's some computer programs will allow you to recalculate, or some machines will allow you to recalculate. They say they recalculate the stitches. Well, basically what's happening there is it's adding some stitches to make the design bigger, or it's taking some out to make it smaller. But it's a computer program. It's not a digitizer. So it's working within the parameters of a program. So often you're going to have more stitches around a circle and less stitches on a straight line. So here I have a stitch out from a recalculated file. And what I did was I digitized a circle, and I digitized like a 1-inch circle and a 2-inch straight line, and I increased it 100% to make the circle 2 inches and the 2-inch line 4 inches. So that was, you know, I increased everything, doubled it. And then what I found is that while with my circle, I have 15 stitches around half of the circle. And when I increased it, I had 31 stitches around the bigger circle, which is good because it filled in all the stitches. You know, I increased it 100% and it gave me 100% more stitches. But look what happened with the straight line. This is a computer program. It's not a digitizer. It went from 21 stitches to 25 stitches because it was making the picture. It knew the circle was an important part of the picture, and it could kind of, you know, scoot along with the line and didn't have to work so hard for the line. So the other thing that happens too when you recalculate in a program like a computer program is a lot of times it will change your stitch length. I know one that will make it quite bigger. It'll make it almost 3.5 millimeters when you restitch it. And these are with machine formatted designs. So those are the files that you get when you buy a design from anybody, really. So hang with me. I'm going to give you a little background. So Dime, which is a company called Designs and Machine Embroidery, they put out a piece of software back in 2020, and it's called Embroidery Toolshed, and you will be using it in this book. This is a free part. This free software right here that you're seeing on the screen is a tiny part of a large of a larger professional digitizing program that I use. So Mark and I, first of all, Mark and I are very comfortable giving support to this piece of software, even though it's not our product. Okay, that was very important to us because if somebody called us about a book or a question about the book and we couldn't help them with the software, that would make us feel uncomfortable. We want to help. So we talked to Dime, and Dime gave us permission to put that free component, the embroidery tool shed, inside our book. So when you purchase a book, you get that piece of software right with the book in the downloads. Okay, now here's the exciting part. I'm so excited. I went one step further and I gave you my native file format. So there is no guessing from the computer. I told the computer exactly what to do in my native format, and that's going to allow you to resize to any size you want within reason, to make it bigger, to make it smaller, and maintain perfect 2.5 millimeter stitches. I'm not even sure most people realize how huge that is. Let's take a look at the cornerstone, one of the heart cornerstones from the book. So I've got 3 hoops stacked up on each other. And the first one is a 5x7 hoop. The second one is a 9.5 by 9.5 hoop. And the third one is a 10-inch by 16-inch hoop. So in the first hoop, I've stitched out the design. It's 3 inches in the book. So I stitched it out as it is in the book and got perfect, beautiful 2.5 millimeter stitches. Then I increased it to 6 inches, which I can do with my native file format and still have perfect stitches. No long stitches. They're all 2.5 millimeter stitches. And then I did it really big, a 10-inch design, and it was still perfect with that 2.5 millimeter stitch. Now, I can dive into the weeds and talk about all this geeky digitizing stuff all day long, but the main thing to remember is, number one, digitizers don't give away their native formats because they're editable, okay? Until today, I'm giving you my native file format in that book. And that native file format is what allows you to resize and shrink and have perfect stitches. And the native file format is C2S, and it only works with Dime products, okay? That's the other piece. You can't go putting this on Floriani software, another software, because Floriani won't know what the heck a C2S file is. So that is why I was really excited when Dime had that free software component, because that allowed me to do that. Okay, so all the files in the book are in a format, my native format, called C2S. By the way, C2S stands for Click to Sew, okay? And it's my native file format for that software. And I know sometimes when I say software, people go, software. Software is super, super easy to use. It's free, so it doesn't have a lot of tools. And I know this may sound kind of mean, but when a software package doesn't have a lot of tools, it makes it really easy because there's not much you can do with it. But it does exactly what we need it to do, and that's resize. Okay, the software is explained in the book, but I went one step further in that book, and I also gave you a link to a video that shows you how to use it. I sit down and I show you how to use it. So basically, you will bring that C2S design into the software, resize it, and then save it to your machine format or to a formatted file that your machine can read, like PES, EXP, VP3, all those. So inside the book, there's also 8 projects that you can play around with. This one is called the Trial Runner. Trial run, give it a try run, So I thought this would be great because you can just round up some scraps. I mean, I literally made this from scraps in my house. It's a 16-inch block, 16 patch block, and it's got maple leaves in the middle and maple leaves around the border design. And then there's some other table runners too. They're a little bit more complex and piecing. This is a magnolia block. Us Southern girls love our magnolias. And it's got a magnolia edge to edge, magnolia borders, and magnolia corner designs. And then, of course, I'm in Ohio, so it's really pretty in the fall up here. So I have fall leaves. And again, you have a fall edge to edge design with fall leaves for the border and a fall design in the corner. And then this is a poinsettia for Christmas. And I love the bubble. I love the quilting on this because it's like a bubble and a feather kind of combined together. And I think it's just really elegant looking. And then, like I said, I'm from Texas, so I like my chips and queso. And so this reminded me of chips and queso, this quilt. So you get the pattern for the quilt, you get the jalapeno pepper edge to edge design, and then there's peppers and for the border and the cornerstone. And then there is hats and mittens, because again, I'm up in Ohio and we like the winter too up here. And so I don't know if you can see that very well, but you'll see this design later. It's got a little hat and little mittens, and there's a hat and mitten border, and then on one, I put in one extra border design because, I used to be a school teacher, so I think of these things. So I've got all these hat and mittens, and then I have a little hedgehog border piece that you can insert in there, and he's got the hat and mittens, and he's kind of running off with them. So that's there too. And then, oh yeah, and I forgot, and the sunflowers, the busy bee wall hanging. There's sunflowers, and it's got like a little meander with a bumblebee and sunflower leaves around it, and sunflowers in the corners. I do not give you. I give you for the bee and the word bloom. I give you your regular machine file format designs, because something a lot of people don't realize is anytime you have a design with satin stitches, particularly, or fill stitches, a lot of times when you resize, you do need to go in and rework the design. So if I took that bee and if you made it 5 inches, it would be a disaster when you stitched it out, because if I did it, I would go in there and edit and clean it up and everything. So I didn't do that. You just have the regular file formats. Anyway, there's full instructions on the technique. There's worksheets to help you figure out the new sizes, for what size your design needs to be when you resize it. And let me tell you right now, I believe that worksheet is worth the entire price of the book, because I used to be a 5th grade teacher, and I put it on a 5th grade level and made it that easy. Let me tell you, it took me about 6 months to make it that easy, because there were times when my head was going like, what? Because remember, you have to calculate in spacing, push, pull. There's a lot of calculations, but in that worksheet, all you have to do is multiply, divide, add, or subtract. And I've already gotten people saying, oh my gosh, that worksheet was so easy. So anyway, there's instructions again for how to use the software, and a video link if you need more help. You've got a copy of the software right there. The embroidery tool shed software it's part of the book. And there's 11 design sets. And when I say a design set, I mean an edge to edge design, a border design, and a corner design in the book. And you can see some of the little designs here at the bottom. Okay, on a different but very related note, as a reminder, we have over 200 edge-to-edge designs in our library. For those of you who've never done edge-to-edge, when we put the book out, people started asking us for more designs, so we started selling designs in what we call expansion packs, and we have quite a few of them now, over 200 designs that you can purchase. There's no instructions, they're just different designs. And people who've already bought the Pro book started writing us right away and saying, hey, are you going to convert all your library of designs into the C2S file format? Well, I will get to a point here, but I need to kind of backtrack a bit. I've been digitizing for 15 years, and I've used many different types of software. In fact, the software I started on, I used to cry. It was that terrible. Okay, it's gotten a lot better, but I used to cry. I would make something and I would just like, it was terrible. Anyway, so over the years, software has gotten better, but I've changed softwares over the years. So converting files to C2S takes time, and it took us a while to figure out how to convert it to the older file formats in different software programs. And so anyway, long story short, it takes a little bit of work for us to convert it. And Mark and I went back and forth and back and forth. Mark is my husband, by the way. He's also customer support and our geeky guy. And we went back and forth on the issue, what we would charge for the new file format. And then over Christmas, and I promise you, I am making a point here. Over Christmas, I made 2 quilts, and one was for my son, Sean, and the other one was for my son-in-law, Jonathan, who is with the Ohio National Guard, currently serving in Syria. And I made them both a quilt, and I just wanted to do an edge-to-edge design, on the quilt. I didn't want to do borders or anything fancy. One's going to Syria, it might not come home. So I just wanted to make it, quick and simple. And I decided to use the method in the Pro book just to make sure that all the designs stayed on the quilt and none of them stitched off the bottom or the edge. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. It was just going so well. Everything worked out so well. I was just happy. I was dancing around the house. I was telling Mark, oh my gosh, this is so great. And that was when Mark decided, he said to me, he goes, you are so happy. I want our customers to be as happy as you are. He says, I'm going to convert all those files for those ladies. If you're this happy, they need to be that happy too. So we are converting our entire library. We'll still have the regular machine file formatted designs, but we're also adding the C2S editable file formats to our library. So far we have done the first book, the designs in the first book, Edge to Edge Quilting on Your Embroidery Machine. We've done pack 1, pack 3, pack 5, pack 11, jumbo pack, and of course I did our free Valor pack myself right after I did Jonathan's quilt. Mark has said he's going to try really hard to finish that collection this year. I'm going to hold him to it too. I'm his naggy wife, so we will get it done. Now, we could have charged you for this, but we decided we're going to just give it to you. We're just adding them to the packs because we thought about you guys and how supportive you have been of our product throughout the years. And I know one store owner told me one time, she goes, I'm not even sure people use your designs. They just collect them. I've got ladies that you have a new design, they have to come in and get it, a new pack of designs. So I know you guys have been supporting us throughout the years, and we wanted to do that. We want to make you happy like I was at Christmas. So I know that was a lot of information there. So let me just do a real quick recap. So the Pro book, it builds on the first edge-to-edge technique. So if you haven't done the first edge-to-edge technique, put the book back and get the first one. If you have done the edge-to-edge, you're going to love the Pro. You can use it to have borders around the body, or just have quilting, have all your quilting stay on the quilt and not stitch off. You got 8 projects that you can make. There's 11 design sets included in the book that you can use on any project. You can resize using the software and have perfect 2.5 millimeter stitches. You can use my native file format to resize to any size. You can take 3 inches and make it 10 inches and it will be beautiful. We do have a Pro Pack number 1. That's like the expansion packs. We got Pro Pack 1, and that was a feather you saw in the video, and that contains more designs. And Mark will be updating all the edge-to-edge files to include the profiles at no extra cost. Wow, that was a whole lot to say. Do I have any questions on any of that?
Wow. Well, I am floored. I am so excited. I'm pretending like I didn't already know, but just to be reminded that you can resize edge-to-edge quilting designs is huge.
Yes.
I'm super excited about that.
Up and down. So if you don't have, like our designs in our library are like the smallest file is 9.5. So if you need to shrink them down more, you can do that with those C2S files.
Yeah, so we have the Edge to Edge Pro with the 6 new design sets on our website. It's only $44.99. And to take advantage of that awesome price, you can go to the shop product in the link of this, in the description of this video, to take advantage of that amazing new product that we have. So we do have some questions.
I figured there would be some.
And I'm going to try to fish out the ones that pertain to edge. So if I don't get to you, don't worry. We'll have those at the very end. Debbie is asking, can your designs be used on a long arm machine?
I do believe in the Dime, when you bring the C2S file format into the Dime tool shed, it does allow you to save to long arm file formats. I know Handy Quilter is in there, and I think the DXL is, I don't know. I would have to, you'd have to, the software is free, so you could just download it and look.
Wonderful. All right. Oh, here's one from Cindy. Joining late. What is this book? This is the Edge to Edge Pro. It's available in the shop link in the description of this video. All right. So the next question is from Trisha. So this native code is so we can resize designs, and it allows the stitch count to go up or down automatically.
Yes, in a nutshell. Let me explain that a little bit. When you learn how to digitize, the software has a native format, and for Dime software, it's click to sew. And what every digitizer learns right off the bat, very first lesson, is you design something, you get really excited, and you forget to save it to the native format. And instead, you just save it to your embroidery machine. You go stitch it out, and then you realize, oh, that's messed up. I want to change it. You go back and you find out you can't change it because you didn't save it to the native format. So that's why that file format is so important, because it can allow you, the customer, now to change the file, to enlarge it and shrink it down, and just like I would do it.
A few comments that I need to get to. First of all, teachers rock.
Thank you. And I'm not a kindergarten teacher, but I can tell you all kindergarten and first grade teachers go straight to heaven. Gosh, they have so much patience.
Sally says, we love Dime products. We do love Dime products. If you haven't experienced Toolshed, you can get it for the free download with the Edge to Edge book. So Sally says she's getting the book. Who else is getting the book?
Thank you.
Let's see. Here's one from Roxanne. Can you get it on a hard drive if you don't have internet service?
We don't do that. Yeah, no, we don't do that. I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't quite understand the question, but Mark's like, we don't do that.
Okay. And here's one from Jan. Is the Toolshed, can that be used on Mac?
Yes. It can be, and yes, it can be.
Wonderful. Here's one from Sally. Do we have to repurchase the products for the new Pro designs?
Repurchase? No. What you would do, let's say you already own expansion pack 1, all you have to do is go re-download expansion pack 1. The files are already sitting there. Surprise.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so I think that's everything that's pertaining to Edge. So if we want to go on to your other new designs and books that you have, we can show everyone those.
All right. Well, the next thing I want to talk to you about is our second new book, and it's called Lemoncello. And I was when I was getting ready for the webinar, I'm like, gosh, when did we release that? We just released it in April. It's like brand spanking new, hot off the press. So this is an Italian pottery inspired table set. So whenever I am in an Italian restaurant or someplace where there is Italian pottery, like a kitchen shop or something, I am like completely distracted because I love Italian pottery. I just love all this, how they do all those lemons, and I just love it. So several years ago, I designed this swirly lemon design, and I knew that I wanted to use it in something special. And there it is right there. I was just like, that design hung on my design wall for probably 2 years. And, my assistant Beth was like, you're ever going to use it? I'm like, I'm waiting. Yeah, something will come. I need something special for it. So I finally came up with Lemoncello. Now, what this book contains is, first of all, it contains that long table runner that you see right there, which is called Lemoncello. And it's comprised of 3 blocks. The The one in the center, I took it and I turned it also into a table topper because I have a round table and a long table runner doesn't quite work on my table. And so I did that. You could also do the other block, the other two blocks if you wanted to. There's also a scroll design that's set up for a napkin. And basically, this is basically what I do is I buy my napkins from Dunroven House. They're you just it just stitches out a little V and you just stick the corner of the napkin in there, tape it down, and it will stitch the design. So it's set up that way for you. There are two coaster designs. One is a tile and one is a lemon or two lemons. And then there are two towel designs, one that says lemon fresh. And please ooh and ah over my shiny oven. I cleaned it just for that photograph. And then homemade lemonade, Lemoncello. Those were my last two photos for this book were that oven shot because I had to clean the oven. And then there's also a hot pad trivet. And the hot pad trivet is 8 inches by 8 inches. It's one of the widest files in the book. The largest file is 4 inches by 11.5. So if you have a 12-inch hoop, you can do, you should be good. 12-inch hoop to do the largest file. There are also 5 quilting designs so that your projects don't go unfinished. Excuse me just a second. Oh, we have a cottonwood tree just blowing around our house, and it's one thing that I'm allergic to. So sorry. Anyway, so so I used to work in a quilt store, and I love the lemons. I used to work in a quilt store, and a lot of ladies would come in and say, how should I finish this up? I don't know how to finish my table runner. So that's always real important for me to provide some kind of quilting so that you get your project done. You don't have to quilt it that way, but I want you to have the option to quilt it that way. So there are 5 designs, and I'll show those a little bit later here. Now the center block that is behind me right here. Yeah, let me move that way. Everything's backwards on camera. That center block, it may look like it's really big, but that design is only 4 inches by 11.5 inches. And I have a short little video that shows you, I want to show you how I make that block, because sometimes when you have a large block with a big design, a design around it, it looks intimidating. And I just want to show you it's really not at all. So let's watch a little video on that. I want to talk to you or show you a little bit about the table runner, the Lemoncello table runner. The first thing I want to show you is it's made up of 3 large blocks. So here is one in the back. The same exact block is up in the front. So those are 2 blocks. And then you have a big splashy one with the lemons in the middle. And the one in the middle is the one I want to talk to you about, because this looks like it's a huge design, but it's not as big as you think it is. It's actually 2 stitch outs, and I want to show you kind of how I do that. So the first thing I do is I take my center block fabric, and I'm going to mark it in the horizontal and vertical centers like you see right here. And then let me see if I can just zoom in so you see this a little bit better. I'm going to mark 6 inches away from the horizontal center and the vertical center. And that is what I have done here. I have my horizontal, vertical and my horizontal line, and then I have measured 6 inches away from all the lines to create this kind of 6-inch box that I have going around the hoop area. All right, so this is that's the first thing I do. And then I hoop so that my notches are on that horizontal and vertical line. Now this will be an applique, so I'll need 2 pieces of yellow for my lemons and 2 pieces of green for my leaves for this piece for this stitch out. So let's go to the machine and I will get this started. Okay, I forgot to tell you, you will need some little applique scissors to do applique. And I just say that because sometimes people bring these big old Fiskars to class and they don't work too well. Okay, so you can see here the design is set up to be the 2 lemons, the first 2 lemons. And what I need to do is put an embroidery. By the way, I'm stitching this out on a baby lock. And a baby lock and a brother machine always bring the design in so that the center is right there in the center of the design. But that's not where it starts stitching, because as you can see, there's no stitching in the center. So if you have a machine that you have to find the center of a design, like a Pfaff would have to do that and a Bernina would have to do that. So you might need to do that right off the bat. Okay, as soon as you find the center though, all you're going to do is move your needle to that center mark, which I'm going to do right now. And I'm just going to put my little W, my laser light on so I can really see that. Perfect. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the button and start stitching out. And the first thing that will stitch out will be the bottom outline for the lemon, as you'll see here in a minute. And of course I use yellow thread on this, so I don't know. Let's go full screen, Mark. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you'll see it now. Mark says you can see it. My monitor doesn't always show what you see. Okay, so I like to pick a fabric with texture, and I got this one. And basically, I've got these placement lines. I'm just going to lay the fabric over the placement lines. And I might have it a little dark at the top where the leaf is going to be, and a little lighter down here. We'll see how it looks. Okay, and then normally I would ask you to tape this, but because I'm the digitizer and I know how everything stitches out, and I'm not going to run over my fingers, I'm not going to tape it. I am a rebel. But please tape the fabric. And you notice that it did stitch around there twice to give you a really nice secure tack down stitch for that piece of fabric. So I'm going to go over to the cutting table because you're going to have to remove the hoop from the machine and lay it on a flat surface to trim it. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, I'm just going to take my little scissors. I'm going to pull the fabric up, and I am just going to trim around the outside of the stitches. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so maybe you can see a little bit more what I'm doing. Okay, so there is my little first lemon. So the next thing that's going to stitch out will be the leaf for this lemon, and then it will repeat the lemon and the leaf upside down above this leaf. So let's watch the leaf. Now I left the yellow thread in because yellow and green and yellow blend really well together. So why not just leave it in there? And again, you would tape this piece of fabric that you're laying over the placement stitches, just like you did before. Okay, then like before, I'm going to remove the hoop from the machine, take it to a flat surface, and trim it out. One of the things I love about applique is you can kind of fussy cut your fabric. So I made sure the darkness was in the center of the leaf and the lightness was on the outside. I thought that'd be a good place for the shape of this leaf. Okay, so again, I'm just going to cut carefully around the stitches. You don't want to cut through the stitches, but you want to get really close to them. That's why you need little applique scissors. Provide my scissors. By the way, these are Havel 540s, and they're the large loop scissors. They're my absolute favorite scissors. Okay, so there is my leaf. Now all this is going to be repeated up here. You zoom out. All this will be repeated up here, but it'll be upside down. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back when the whole embroidery design is finished. All right, so here my 2 lemons have stitched out. I've taken it out of the hoop and I press it. You're going to do a lot of pressing to constantly remove those hoop lines. If you're uncomfortable pressing on the front, you can always press on the back as well. Now, once you get to this point, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate your piece of cloth so that your lemons are going horizontal, and then you're just going to hoop as best you can, because the lines kind of draw in a little bit, but as best you can, you're going to hoop this way. You're going to find the center and repeat the same process with the other 2 lemons, and that is how you get that big, beautiful design in the middle. Now, after you do that, you will be printing off templates. I really try to make it easy for you guys. So you'll print off 4 of these, and these templates, the crosshairs, will go right here in the corners, and I just extend the line so I have a nice cross, and I'm just going to place the template lines so that they are right there on that cross, pin them down, and then I'm going to stitch. Now I'm kind of close to the edge of the cloth, so what I do is I'll put a piece of stabilizer underneath it, and then I will hoop so that I will have part cloth and part stabilizer in my hoop. You'll do that for all 4 corners. And that's as easy as just finding the center and following the stitch out instructions. And then you'll come in with, now what we want is we want to have like a square where the very tip of this point and this point. So I would probably draw a line from the tip of here to the tip of here, and then on all 4 sides. And then with that tip, I would put the tip of my template right there on the edge. That way everything's within that so-called that box. And that's all explained in the instructions. Okay, and then after you stitch all that out, what you have is some beautiful little quilting designs that you can use. And I'm going to show you here because this is already quilted. And so right in here, you have these little templates, and you just kind of place them down. These go real fast. So this is after you've assembled everything. You've got your 3 layers together, your batting, your backing, everything together. You're going to place your little templates down. Again, find the center. Advance to the first stitch if you need to, and then that stitches out. And then you have these little ones that you can put along the edge. And let me see if we can get in a little closer so we can actually see some of these right here. And what I do is I just kind of cut them. I want to keep the crosshair in the middle, but I just kind of cut them out so I can place them so that it's pleasing to my eye all the way around in the little ones. Now, if you're making the big table runner on the corners, what you will do, instead of placing the little edge pieces, you will place these big corner designs, which will go in between the blocks, connecting the blocks. And I love this design. It looks so pretty. So anyway, that is pretty much the basics of how you do that. And of course, the instructions, all this is in the instructions, step by step. I try to really give you lots of photographs and step-by-step instructions anytime we're making a project. All right. Does anybody have any questions about what they just saw?
Oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. And everyone is raving in the comments how much they love the lemons. It's so fresh. It's so happy, fun. I obviously love the color yellow. I put it all over my new sewing room. So let's talk a little bit about some questions. And just a moment, let's see. Okay, so one question we had, so you're cutting out your designs, us brother users, which you have the equivalent of the luminaire. We saw the projection in that
Okay,
demonstration.
yes.
Great. But a lot of us have the Brother Scan and Cut. Do you happen to have cut files with the design?
I do not. I do not. That's one thing I've just never had time to sit down and play with and learn.
Okay. But it comes in PES format, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. So us Brother Scan and Cut users can put that file in the Scan and Cut, and it should take the outline of it and pre-cut it out for us. So Brother has a solution. Okay, so that answers that question, and that was the only.
If you have the luminaire, what you do is you just project that quilting design onto the fabric. I mean, you don't even have to have the template at that point.
Yeah. So
So
you
we
can
have that on
also, yeah. So you can bring the design into the Scan and cut it out that way, or you can bring it into shapes in my design center, and then there's different ways. So all right, so we did have a lot of questions. What is this? How do I purchase it? So remind us what the name of this book is.
The book is called Lemoncello,
Yay.
just like the drink. And I'm finding like half the people like to drink, and you either love limoncello or you can't stand it. It's a very odd drink. I think it's so wonderful and refreshing.
I agree. It's very refreshing. So that is in the shop link in the description of this video. We also put it in the chat for you. All right, so we have a few more items to go. So let's get to those.
Okay, all right. Well, I want to talk to you next about our Arts and Letters projects. We have 2 of them now. The first one was Arts and Letter pouch. And let me just, Beth is my assistant who I get to have a couple times a week. And just between you and me, don't tell her, she is one crazy monogram lady. This lady monograms everything. I mean, everything she owns. She comes over, she's so cute. She has her little jacket with her monogram on, her little blouse with her monogram on, her hat with her monogram, her tote bag with her monogram. She's just a hoot. And I've seen pictures of her house at Christmas, her table, everything's monogram, let me tell you. So for 5 years, she's been asking me to do monograms. And so I finally came up with the Arts and Letter pouch and an Arts and Letter crossbody bag, which is brand new. So both of these projects, the embroidery sections are stitched out in the hoop, and then they're assembled with your sewing machine. So the pouch, I've got the Irish one. It has a front section and it has a back section. And then there's a zipper on top. It's fully lined. So these 2 are stitched out in your embroidery machine. And then you would assemble them with your sewing machine. This is a part in the hoop, part on the sewing machine. They're fully lined. There are no raw edges anywhere. You have 2 choices. You have monograms. There is one with a flower leaf, as you can see up there. And this is a blue bonnet right here. I snuck it in. And then you have one that's Celtic theme. You know, we are the Connors, so I married an Irishman, so we had to have the Celtic vibe here. And I do have a little short video that I want to show you. Actually, Beth made a short video on putting on zipper tabs, and I just want to show you how to do this. Because in this project, you have to cut both ends of the zipper, where the head is and where you want to cut the metal off. So that can sometimes be a little scary. So this is just a real short video, 3 minutes, and I'm going to show that to you.
So to get started, you want a zipper that is longer than the final size of the zipper. And we know that our zipper length that we need is 9.5 inches. So this is probably what, a 12-inch zipper? 14-inch, okay. And we take a 4-inch square piece of fabric and we fold it in half, press it, and then we fold the 2 edges into the center. And so we have this strip, okay. I'm going to move this out of the way. And then on the zipper that we are going to put the tabs, the accent tabs, we cut the stop off. That's the end, that's the stop off. At this point, we're going to take our folded 4-inch square, and we're going to place it inside the strip, and we want it snug right up against the fold. And then we have this lovely clip that's going to hold everything together because it gets wiggly, and so you want to have a real firm hold there. All right, then the next thing we do is run a row of stitching. And what I need to say to you now is that you need to have a nylon zipper. When you, although most metal zippers I think are long gone for this type of sewing, but make sure if you're delving into your old supply of zippers that you have a nylon zipper and not a metal zipper, because you're going to be sewing through the teeth. All right, so as you can see on this one, I have trimmed it close to the zipper. And now it's time to decide on what's the final length and to put the accent piece on this side. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get my zipper tab down past the halfway mark, I think, because we don't want to cut off the zipper with this tab up here and then we're going to start all over again. So that's the next step. Then you're going to put the edge of your base tab along the 0 mark, and you're going to come to 9.5, and you're going to cut off at 9.5. Okay. At that point, you're going to do the same thing with the 4-inch square. You're going to make yourself a nice tab by folding it in half, folding to the center, no raw edges that way, and then you're going to place it over the end of your top of your zipper, okay? And you're going to stitch. And the suggestion is that you stitch a couple times so it really sticks. It does not come unraveled for you. So then what you can do is you can close it back up, and then you go, and I would trim this off, okay? And then you can just line it up with the edge of your zipper, or I'm sorry, with the edge of your bag, and stitch it down. And you've got your accent tabs in your pouch. So that's very simple to do and not very frightening if you look at it that way.
Okay, well, that was a pouch. And then we just released a crossbody bag. And I love a crossbody bag, especially in the summertime when I can just have my hands free to touch everything at a festival or art show. And I'm sure people don't appreciate that, but I'm a tactile person. So it comes in two styles. We have a nautical themed and we have a seashell themed. And again, all 3 pieces are stitched out with the embroidery machine. So this would be your front. And please notice that they're little gold mariner compasses on the front. And then this is the bottom. I'll show you, that looks like that on the other side. And then this would be the back with the mariner compass. And these are little red, I give you like little red marks where you can just cut out for the gussets. So that's what I did here. This was all quilted down, and then we just cut out here. And then we cut out here too. And you stitch out those 3 pieces in your embroidery machine, and then you assemble them at the sewing machine. You can adjust the strap to the length you want. There is a zipper on top. So I like my bags to have a zipper because I don't want people getting into them. And then they're fully lined again with no raw edges anywhere. You're seeing a little batting at the bottom if you're seeing something white, but it's no raw edges. And then the one with the clamshell, it has little seashells on the back and on the front side. And these individual seashells and mariner compass, these tiny little designs, are standalone designs too. They come on the project, and then we just decided to include them on a standalone design because Beth was saying that she might want to do a pair of pants with like the little mariner compass all over them. Good luck with that. Anyway, so we use a Sally Tomato hardware. This is a rose D-ring and swivel hook, and then Sally Tomato again with the gold. Love her stuff. And so that's our crossbody bag. Again, there are 2 monogram sets, the nautical A through Z and the clamshell A through Z. And I do plan on making a video for the assembly on that one. It's the instructions are very good, and I don't think you'll have any trouble with it. But some people like to have a video. I just need to get some time to do that. And actually, this is what this is for. These are why these are stitched out. So when I have time, I've got my pieces all ready to go for my video. Does anybody have any questions on the crossbody?
Oh my goodness. I think we had one come in. Let's see here. Oh, here's a good, okay, from the last one you showed, because you just showed 2
Yes.
products. The pouches are beautiful, good for gifts galore. I agree.
Absolutely. I have one lady, like, as soon as we released it, she sent me, like, a picture of 7 bags that she had done for, all her grandkids, and on one of them, she gave one to a little boy. She put the monogram on there, but she did it, like, in camo fabric for him too, so.
Oh, very cool. We did have a question on the crossbody bag from Kelly Smith. Are there any finishing seams to do after completing the embroidery?
You mean like a zigzag stitch around the inside? Is that what you're talking about?
Like I guess sewing involved.
Yeah, you do have to, after you stitch out the 3 pieces, you do have to assemble it, the sewing machine, the lining, but there is no zigzagging of stitches. It's the lining will cover everything.
Okay, great question, Kelly. And Mary says, what are the sizes again?
Oh, I knew somebody was going to ask me that, and I forgot to. Mark, help me out here. Little.
Let me see if it's over.
Got the size of my head, and
oh, here we go. I have the required stitch field, 6.5 by 11 and 4.1 by 4.6.
So yeah, the required stitch field for the pouch is 7.5 by 9.5 for the front and back, and then the monograms are 4 inches.
Okay, and I see on the back page it says finished bag is roughly 7 inches wide, 6 inches tall, and 3 inches deep.
Oh, the bag, I don't have that. Huh? Oh, okay. Mark says yes, you got it right.
Perfect. All right, so that was the Arts and Letters Out and About crossbody bag. So to take advantage of that, click the shop link in the description of this video, and you'll see every product that we showed today in the video. Oh my gosh, I love your inspiration and creativity.
Thank you.
So we'll be doing
actually Beth helped a lot with that, because she kept saying, do an anchor, do a boat, and I'm like, a boat, an anchor, why would anybody want an anchor? And then all of a sudden I thought, oh, nautical, I can and then I was thinking like a rusty old anchor. I'm like, why would anybody want an anchor?
Yeah. So we'll be doing 2 giveaways pretty shortly at the end of our Q&A at the end of this video. So to be eligible for that, go ahead and comment hashtag AllBrands. Did you want to announce what your giveaway is, Christine?
Yes, we're going to get, thank you for reminding me. We're going to give away one of the Arts and Letter pouches. So hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully you will win.
Woohoo! So that will be after the Q&A. Are you ready to get into that?
I have one more project to talk about, and then can we go a little further?
Yes.
One more? Okay.
Let's do it. Okay.
So this one's kind of quick and short. I actually was fortunate enough to teach a class or to go to a retreat in Maine and be a teacher in Maine. And if you've never been to Maine, you've got to go. It's such a beautiful, beautiful state. But anyway, for this class, I created this table topper that says, when life gives you lemons, eat lobster. And then I went back and added a lemonade glass, because I understand that not everybody loves lobster. I don't know why. It's so delicious. But so we have a second one that they're both included in the pattern, and the other one says, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So I just want to show you just a real quick 3-minute video of just how this is kind of assembled, so you'll understand. I try to make everything really simple, so I just want to show you how simple it is to make. One thing I want to point out to you with this table topper is there are no seams. This is a really easy little folding project. There is a template that looks something like this. If you print it off from your printer, I suggest that you either trace it out so that you don't have any ink marks show up on your fabric. But what you do is you're just basically going to take a square fabric and you're going to fold it around the template. So it would be folded around this piece of paper. And I show you how to do that in the instructions, and then you just cut it out at the bottom. So all this is already just part of the fold. So I just wanted to show you that it's real easy to get that shape. The other thing is, some of you may think, oh my gosh, you know, how do you hoop with a weird shape like that? Well, your backing fabric will be a square, will be a bigger square. It'll kind of look something like this. You know, I've got the stitch down because we had it in a booth here just not too long ago. So your fabric square would come out here. So when you hoop everything, you would have fabric there, batting and fabric to hoop. So then all you have to do is you're just, wherever you folded, you're just going to mark some pie-shaped lines and where all the folds were. And then I've got all these templates that you just print out, cut out, and you just basically pin the template within the border lines of the lines that you drew, pin it together, take it to your machine, stitch that, and again, here's the center mark. Now, one more thing I want to point out to you. You're probably looking at this and seeing that this crosshair is not in the center. That is because this is the center of the design, not necessarily the shape. This is kind of like one of those instances where you're doing lettering and you've got like a W and you've got all this wavy stuff over here and then the W. And when you try to center it, it seems like it's not in the center because the W is so flourishy on one side. That's kind of how that happens with some of these lemons. So I just wanted to point that out to you too. So this is when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Got a great glass of lemonade here for those hot days. And let me just zoom in on that so you can really see that. You know, even the straw, I don't even know if you can see, but the straw is like, it's got the little stripes on it, a lot of shading in there. And then you have the lobster over here. Is he not just adorable? I just love my little lobster. So whatever you like, whether you like lemonade or lobster, that is available for you. And the pattern is called When Life Gives You Lemons.
Wow. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you like lobster, Barbara?
If I can get it, I will eat it for sure.
Yes, I ate so much lobster. I told the store owner, I said, I don't want you to pay for any of my meals because I'm eating lobster every night that I'm here. And I'll pick up the tab on that.
Love the detail on this runner. That screaming summer, very cute. Christy says, make a lemon drop. I love that.
Yeah, I could do that too. There you go.
Crystal suggested that would be a very cute placemat as well. Oh my gosh. So that is the When Life Give You Lemons. It's in the shop shop product link in the description of this video. So definitely take advantage of that. Thank you for your amazing inspiration and products. And we are so excited. Thank you so much. So we have some questions. Okay. Let's just plow through these. Here's one from, and I saved some cute comments. So on the Edge to Edge, Roxanne said she loves the sunflowers. I'm obsessed with sunflowers right now. So I love sunflowers. Roberta says, I love your Edge to Edge designs. And I didn't know it was a thing to abbreviate E to E. And some people call it E, the number 2E. So
that's what we do around here. We call them E to E. Yeah.
Okay, and Roxanne also, and a number of folks watching, you mentioned that your son was in the service, and a lot of folks were
Oh,
commenting. Thank you.
I will let him know. I will let him know.
Let's see here. All right. Linda asks, is there a way to do edge-to-edge quilting where it will not stitch on top of the applique or underneath the applique?
The only way to do that would be to do the quilting first and then the applique.
Okay,
But
so it's underneath.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And then I'm not sure what this was, but maybe you know, Cindy asks, do you ever think about doing heavy equipment quilting designs?
like jackhammers and that type
Maybe.
of and cherry pickers.
Just a
We
thought.
can send us an email. We'll add it to the list. We just, we get requests all the time, and honestly, that's what we do. We just start a list and, next pack. Well, let's look at the list. What does everybody want? So.
All right. So Linda says, so if you already have some of these, can you get the updates?
Yes. All you have to do is re-download it.
Perfect.
They're already there.
Okay. Etta asks, so I do not have the first book. Which is it? Is it included? Okay. So the first book is not included in the shop product link, but you can purchase it on allbrands.com. But they should purchase the Pro book instead, correct?
If they've never done edge to edge, they should start with the first one, because the Pro book builds upon the method in the first book.
Okay, I see. And I think, is that it on your right? I'll make you full screen.
Yeah.
So you can find that book on allbrands.com. Just type that edge to edge quilting on your embroidery machine into the search bar, and that should come up. Jean, okay, so Jean asks, or comments, look how cute her picture is. I love that I can order at midnight and have it quilted before noon.
I love that too. That's great.
Okay, Roxanne asks, so what program is it? Windows that you have to have in order to download these designs? So they can download them with Windows or Mac, correct?
Yes, the tool shed works with both.
Perfect. Okay. And where do I go to download the C2S files? James asks.
In the book, in the very back of the book, when you purchase it, there's a serial number, and you go to our website, you register, and when you register, give us your phone number. We are so small. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to call you. But if we have a problem, we can contact you, or give us your email. Give us something, and you just write that code in, register, write the code, and your designs, everything will be there. Templates, embroidery designs, whatever I said was there will be there. The embroidery tool shed, the program will be there.
Perfect.
Susan
says that she just ordered the Edge to Edge second edition last week. Is the first edition more for beginners, or are they the same?
No, we wrote the second edition has more information about magnetic hoops. What happened was I'm the first person to ever do quilting on an embroidery machine. Okay. I did invent the technique, and I wrote that book back in 2014. And after I wrote the book, so much has changed. When I first wrote that book, the only, machine that could do the large files was a Thoth machine. So think about that now, they can all do the large files, all the machines. So yeah, so much has changed. And then Eileen Roche, one of the partners in Dime, invented the magnetic hoop, and I went out and bought one, and I'm like, oh my God. And that was just a game changer. And ladies, if you do not have a magnetic hoop and you're quilting on an embroidery machine, you need to get a magnetic hoop, because you can just it literally cuts your time in half. That's all I can say. You know, you don't have to get up and rehoop. You just slide that hoop around. Okay,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
I agree. I have the largest size for my luminaire, and I fill it up with quilting patterns, and it just works so great for shifting your quilt around without
Yeah.
having to take the hoop off of the machine and then redo it. So that's called the Dime Snap Hoop. So DIME Snap Hoop, and you can purchase that on AllBrands.com, our website. Here's one from Kathy, a cute puppy. Did the first book come with CD?
It did. It did. It did. We used to burn CDs. Yes.
So how
And
are the designs sent now?
they're all with that download code, because what we had to move with the times, because the new computers now, they're not coming with CD drives. It was getting awkward telling people you got to buy a CD, accessory and all this stuff. So we just went to downloads. Nice thing about downloads too is if your computer ever goes south on you and you contact us and tell us, my computer went south, I lost all my designs, we just look at your account and say, yeah, we see you bought all 17 of our expansion packs in the book. We'll just put them right there for you.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it's so funny. We're closing out all of our embroidery design CDs that we have in stock on our website. So we just marked them all down to $5 because it's technology that is not going to be here.
And Mark just gave me a little sticky note. Hold on, let me just clarify. You're talking about if they have a CD and they want the C2S files.
They can still get
okay, so let's say you did buy that edge to edge book with a CD, or the expansion pack one with a CD, and you're thinking, how do I get the new C2S files? All you have to do is send Mark at support@ameliescott.com a picture of your book, or or whatever, and he will set you up with a download.
Okay.
So you don't have to buy it again if you want those C2S files.
So it's Mark at support Mark support.
Just support@ameliescott.com.
Put it in the
there's a link at the top of the web page. Yeah, link at the top of the web page that will get you there.
Perfect. All right. Oh, here's a good question from Carolyn. What brand of thread do you like to embroider with?
I like Exquisite thread. I like that a lot. I've used Floriani too. I've liked that. And my favorite metallic thread of all times is Kingstar metallic thread. I cannot say enough about that thread.
I love it too. Here's Roxanne again. Oh my gosh, I love all those children. They're so cute.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Very blessed. So do I need to buy both of the books, is what Roxanne is asking.
Well, you'll want to.
Yeah.
You'll want to get started with the first book, and then you'll want to move into the pro book right away.
Yes.
And really,
go ahead.
You really need to have the information from the first book.
Yeah.
Before you dive into the second book.
And both of those books are available on allbrands.com. Carolyn asks, can we watch this presentation later? Yes, as long as YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and all of our social media platforms that we post to are in existence, then this video will be available to rewatch. So save it if you're purchasing the product, and you can go back and watch some of those little tutorials. Oh, here's one. Someone that you know, Rochelle Kyle. Hello, nice to see your face. I'm Marlo's neighbor's cousin.
Oh, how about that? Yes, Marlo lives next door to me.
Wonderful.
Hello, Rochelle.
Barbara says that she loves the pouches on your wall. We've got so many great comments about all of your projects.
They spell out Amelie. I don't know. Well, you can't see them all, but we have this long runner, and they AMELIE all the way down.
Yeah. All right. And Trisha said, I love your office park, so I'm so excited. You don't know this, maybe, Christine, but I have I went crazy with spring cleaning and I totally moved my whole studio into a different room at the house. And so I have my new sewing room and it's filled with everything that is meaningful to me and the colors that I love. So you'll see my mother's quilts right here on the table. My grandmother's sewing box here, tons of family heirlooms in the cabinet. So maybe I'll do a video in the future of spring cleaning and inspiration for making a creative space for
You should do that.
quilting. So
It's very pretty. It's very pretty. You should do that. You should do that video.
yeah, so I picked purple because it's a very creative and unique color, and I painted all the doors purple. It was a French inspiration, and yellow is just happy fun, and like you love the like the lemons. It's beautiful, I think. So thank you very much, Trisha. And Trisha also says for you, Christine, I wish I had your brain and imagination, just fabulous.
Oh, thank you. You might not want my brain. It kind of goes all over the place. Sometimes,
well, you can.
Sometimes I'll say something and my husband will look at me really weird. I'll say, wait, let me tell you how I got there. I was thinking of this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And that's how I got here. And he's like, oh, okay.
Well, you can have a little piece of Amelie in your life by any of these projects that she has that we have linked in the shop description below. So you can stitch them out and have a little bit of her wonderful creativity in your own home or studio. All right. So are you ready for a giveaway?
Yeah.
Would you like to do a giveaway? Okay. Let's do it. So I guess first we'll do the $25 allbrands.com e-gift card. And oh my gosh, we have 101 entries. If you haven't yet, go ahead and comment #allbrands to be eligible to win. And we'll do 2 giveaways today. All right. So our first one is, this is my drum roll. You gotta, oh, Karen, congrats. Okay, Karen, you can email me at events@allbrands.com with your name, number, and address to claim your $25 allbrands.com e-gift card to use on our website. Maybe you can use it on some of these amazing Amelie Scott designs. So we have another giveaway. Christine, what is that?
And that's the Arts and Letter pouch that we talked about today. 2 monograms.
All right. So let's draw again. Looks like we have 107 entries now. And our winner is, let's see, Pamela.
Congratulations, Pamela. Yay.
So same thing for you, Pamela. Go ahead and email me at events@allbrands.com and I will get the code over to you so that you can download that wonderful design pack from Amelie Scott. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And thank you for all you guys out there for tuning in.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, next week we'll be with Sylvain. We're talking about some Burnett air threading overlocks and sergers. They are amazing products. And oh, I'll see you, Christine, at the Bernina convention coming up. I'm so excited about that. So Bernina and Brother are coming out with new products in the spring. And we are so excited to show those to you soon. So, all right. Well, until next time, we'll see y'all later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.